Hello, thank you for joining today. Today we're going to be covering Sage X3 purchase request workflow approvals in the system to send direct emails out to your team to approve purchase requests before they are converted into purchase orders. First, we're going to cover some setup, general parameters, and some setup workflow rules before we can dig into a specific transaction and do a quick test to show you how it works. The first parameter value we're going to look at is under the SUP supervisor chapter. This is required to send out emails out of the system. So this is where we're going to set up our email server configuration under the WRK workflow group. If you click the detail, here in row 3, you must enter the email server to be configured so that it allows Sage X3 to send emails out of the system. So that is the SERMES email server parameter. Once you have that set up, there's one more parameter that needs to be configured to allow for purchase requests to be managed out of the system. For approvals and signatures, that's under ACH purchase chapter. And it's going to be the APP group for signature management. So Sage X3 allows you to manage signatures for purchase orders and purchase requests. Today we're doing purchase requests, so that's going to apply to the row 3 APPSH manage signatures for purchase request. We're going to set that value to yes, mandatory, to force that signature management on every transaction. The other options are no, if you weren't to manage it at all, or yes, optional for optional management. Now that we have our parameter values squared away, the next step is setting up the user email addresses. So for any user involved in the workflow that might be signing off on emails, that workflow email address field under setup users for that user will need to be filled out here. So make sure this field is filled out appropriately. It maps the email address to the user for workflows that will need to be filled out so that they receive the email. After that, we're going to look up some setup specific to the actual workflow itself under setup workflow. The first function is user rules of assignment. I recommend starting with the out-of-the-box workflow for purchase requests. That's going to be PSHSIG. This one is specific to a certain company, but that's an optional filter. You can just have one rule for all companies. But here you're kind of building the structure of how the workflow is going to work. So how many signatures is the maximum amount of signatures? This is set to 3, so that will allow up to 3 signatures for different approval levels. And then below in the grid, you have different criterias like the request user, minimum dollar amounts, maximum dollar amounts, etc. So this is customizable. But like I said, I recommend starting out of the box with this, and then you can customize it as you go from there. If you make any changes, you're going to want to save and validate once completed. And then next, we're going to look at the user assignment level. This is built directly off the assignment rule. So we're looking at the same assignment rule for the same company. And this is where we're going to set our different values and dollar amount thresholds. So as you can see, we have the purchase request user as USR01. And then we have 3 different minimum and maximum value ranges. And then each range requires a different set of approvers. So for the first range, it just requires 1 signature from RKLT. The next range requires 2 signatures. And then the final range requires 3 signatures, which is the max amount of signatures as defined in our assignment rule. Once this is set up, you can go to Setup Workflow Rules. And this function, this is where you can edit the email message, so you can customize the email header, the email body, etc. So you can add specific variables, specific tables, fields that references the purchase request that gives whoever's signing the request more information. So for example, you can tie in the product detail, the quantity, the price, maybe the supplier. Some of that important information can be coded here, so it is displayed in the email for that signature. Whoever's approving it, to give them more information before they make the decision if it's signed or rejected. The last function I want to show you here is the user delegate function. This is completely optional, but this can be used if someone who is signing off on the purchase request is out of the office. Maybe they're on PTO. You can set up a delegate for that user so they can have a backup for them to sign any of the purchase requests while that user is out of the office. With that being said, we have completed our initial setup for the workflow. So let's give it a quick test here. We're going to navigate to purchasing, purchase request, and create a new purchase request. I'm going to use the same requester as defined in our workflow user assignment rules as USR01. I'm going to select NA012 as the site, since that's within the NA10 company that was specified in our workflow setup. We're going to select a product here. I'm going to order 10 units from supplier NA053 at $90 per unit. So that will be a $900 total amount, which will meet that first line in our threshold because it's between $100 and $999. This should trigger an email just to the RKLT user to approve of this request. And this is an optional log reading I turned on. This is helpful during testing. This is a setting under the workflow rules where you can set up a debug mode to allow for a log reading. This will show you where the email is going, what assignment rule was impacted, etc. And here you can see the status is no. If you click on the 3 lines above, you have a signature block up here. If you click signature history, this will show you whether or not it has been signed. So in the status currently, it's to be signed. So since it's not signed yet, it will not let you proceed with an order if you try to create the PO. And then shortly, I will be receiving an email with the purchase request details. And then that email will allow the user to either accept the purchase request or reject it. And it will give you the purchase request number, who made the request, who created the transaction, the company, the site, total dollar amount, etc. And then this link will allow you to sign it to approve it, and this link will allow you to reject it if you do not approve the request. Once you sign it, it will allow you to convert the purchase request into a purchase order, assuming all signatures have been acquired and it's fully signed. So that's an overview of purchase request workflows in Sage X3 via emails, and this gives users great visibility into any upcoming purchases that are purchase requests and gives them the opportunity to accept or reject them to make sure they don't become a purchase order unless it's valid and correct. I hope this session was helpful today, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.